Have you ever wondered if the mistakes, music, you make today are quietly stealing years from your life? As we get older, it is natural to worry about our health and wonder how our daily choices are truly impacting our longevity and vitality. But here is the truth. You might be following certain routines that are far more damaging than you realize in your current life. In this video, we are diving into 5 specific errors that show you are placing a heavy burden on your body and soul, even if you do not think it is a major concern yet. Each sign reveals how a long and vibrant life goes far beyond just what you eat or, music, how much you exercise. Stay tuned until the end because you will discover how recognizing these patterns not only boost your confidence, but might just change the way you see your existence forever. Now, let's get started. One clear sign that your daily habits might be shortening your life is if you find yourself trapped in a cycle of constant worry and chronic stress. This can manifest in many subtle ways, such as overthinking small decisions, feeling a persistent tightness in your chest, or lingering on negative thoughts long after a stressful event has passed. If you notice this kind of behavior, it is a strong indication that your nervous system is being taxed in a way that can lead to long-term damage. Older individuals are often drawn to worrying about their families or, music, their future security, as these thoughts can make them feel like they are being responsible or prepared. Music, however, the way your body responds to the constant release of stress hormones can tell a lot about your physical decline. For example, a man named Joseph, who is 72 years old, spent most of his mornings worrying about his adult children and their financial, music, choices. He believed this mental effort was a sign of his love. But he soon noticed that his sleep was poor and his digestion was always unsettled. When he finally learned to practice mindfulness and let go, music, of things he could not control, his physical health improved in a way that felt like a new lease on life. It is not about being indifferent, cold, or trying to ignore reality through exaggerated displays of calmness. What truly makes your lifespan flourish is your ability to be comfortable in your skin, music, projecting a quiet self-assurance and emotional maturity that protects your heart from unnecessary strain. People, in general, tend to gravitate toward individuals who are grounded, vibrant, and able to handle life with a sense of perspective, music, and ease. So, if you seek out ways to lower your stress levels without any overt displays of panic, it may very well be because you sense your inner strength and wisdom, traits that naturally draw a longer and healthier life in. Another significant sign that you are overlooking a crucial aspect of your vitality is when you consistently neglect your hydration and the quality of the nutrients you put into your body. While it might feel like a minor detail, the subtle dehydration of our cells can actually be quite taxing on a mature cardiovascular system and our cognitive functions. This can show up in your life as persistent fatigue, a feeling of mental fog that never seems to lift, or even unexpected changes in your skin elasticity that leave you feeling older than your years. Many people in their 60s and 70s assume that their dietary habits are fine just because they have followed them for decades. But the reality is often more complex and requires a deeper level of adaptation as our bodies evolve. Consider the story of a woman named Margaret, who is 68 years old and loved her daily routine of 4 cups of black coffee and very little water. She started to realize that her energy would crash every afternoon and she felt a sense of irritability that she could not explain. When she began prioritizing a large glass of water every morning and adding more mineral-rich vegetables to her lunch, she found that her clarity returned and her body felt lighter and more capable. This reflects a deeper level of self-respect and an understanding of how your body needs high-quality fuel to maintain its strength. You do not need to follow every passing, music, diet trend just to feel relevant or healthy. What makes you truly appealing is your ability to listen to your own physical cues and respond with maturity and consistent care. Choosing to nourish yourself with intention shows that you value your longevity and your daily comfort, which is a sign of true wisdom. When you prioritize the fuel you give your system, music, you are projecting a sense of vitality that others can sense and admire. It is not just about the food itself, but the respect you show for the vessel that has carried you through so many years. If you find yourself making these thoughtful adjustments to your nutrition, it is a clear indication that you are making a strong impression on your own future. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let us move forward. If you consistently find yourself staying up late and ignoring the natural rhythms of sleep, that is a clear indication that you are making the third most common mistake that steals your lifespan. As we age, our sleep architecture changes, and failing to respect our need for deep restorative rest can lead to increased inflammation and a weakened immune system. This can manifest in subtle ways, such as feeling a lack of motivation in the morning, having difficulty concentrating on your favorite hobbies, or even feeling a sense of emotional fragility during the day. Many older adults find that they struggle with insomnia or believe they need less sleep than they used to, which can lead to a dangerous habit of staying awake during the late hours of the night. For instance, a man named Thomas, who is 75 years old, used to stay up until 1 a.m. watching old movies and scrolling through his tablet. He began to notice that he felt dizzy more often, and his memory was not as reliable as it had been just a few years prior. After he decided to create a strict bedtime of 10 p.m. and turned off all blue light devices an hour before Thomas found he woke up feeling more alert and his physical balance improved significantly. This demonstrates your attention to detail and your understanding of the power of consistent maintenance for your brain and heart. Number 4, social withdrawal and emotional loneliness. When you begin to notice that you are withdrawing from social, interactions and allowing emotional loneliness to settle in, it is a clear sign that you are making a mistake that is ranked as the second most dangerous for your lifespan. While it is natural to seek more peace and quiet as we get older, chronic isolation can lead to higher rates of heart disease and a faster decline in brain health. This can show up as a reluctance to call old friends, a tendency to avoid community events, or even a feeling that you no longer have anything valuable to contribute to conversations. Many people in their 70s and 80s assume that their social time is over. But the reality is that connection is a fundamental human need that keeps us vibrant and alive. For example, Patricia, who is 70 years old, began staying at home almost every day after she lost her close friend group to relocation and health changes. By choosing to volunteer at a local library and reaching out to neighbors for a simple cup of coffee, she stayed engaged and her mood improved in a way that radiated to everyone around her. The final mistake, which is the absolute first place and completely unexpected, is the habit of carrying a negative self-image and harboring hidden resentment toward your life or others. Unlike physical mistakes that involve what you do with your body, this is a spiritual and psychological error that can accelerate aging faster than almost any other factor. For instance, a man named William, who is 80 years old, had lived for decades with a deep resentment toward his former business partner and a harsh view of his own aging body. When he finally decided to practice forgiveness and began to see his age as a crown of wisdom rather than a badge of shame, he found that his physical energy and his desire for life returned, with a force he had never known. As we wrap up this discussion, take a moment to reflect on the 5 mistakes we have explored together today. What stood out to you the most as you considered your own habits and the way you approach your daily life? Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.